Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. The rest of the world knows that Nigeria's 2023 general election, particularly the presidential election, was hugely flawed. It was characterized by manipulations, violence, and every other thing you can think of that is not supposed to be associated with a transparent process. The verdict by international and local observers was clear. The election was marred by malpractices. Despite that, on March 1st, the Independent National Electoral Commission of Nigeria, the electoral body that conducted the election, despite the protestations by the opposition parties at the International Conference Center, which was the center for national coalition of the results, went ahead and declared the APC presidential candidate, Ahmed Tinubu, as the president-elect and the winner of that election. As a result of that, the major opposition parties, particularly the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party, had gone to court to challenge the declaration of Bola Tinubu as the winner of that election and as the president-elect from that process. That is now an ongoing matter in the courts in Nigeria. And it's also instructive to note that since after the election, because of the reality and realization that the election was marred by malpractices, and this malpractice was condoned by the government in power, which is represented by APC. Many people know that, around the world know that the election was allegedly rigged in favor of the ruling government or the ruling party. That was why, as I'm talking to you now, the President of the United States, Joe Biden, has not congratulated Bola Tinubu, as would have been the case if he was satisfied, at least he is believed to have been satisfied with the processes that led to the emergence of Bola Tinubu as the president-elect. Because the process is in fact more important than the outcome. Because if the process is flawed, the outcome cannot be anything but transparent, and therefore does not stand the test of accountability, of fairness, justice, and equity. That is the situation with Nigerian election. You can also understand the joy of many Nigerians, most Nigerians, because don't forget, most Nigerians voted against Bola Tinubu, because even by the INEC disputed results, Bola Tinubu got about 8 million votes. Peter Obi of Labour Party got about 6 million votes. Atiku of the PDP got about 6 million votes, 6 point something million votes. And Rabi Ukwankwaso of NNPP got 1 million votes. Now, if you calculate the votes of these opposition parties, you see that they gathered more votes than what Bola Tinubu got. They got almost 13 million people. It means that there were 13 million Nigerians that voted against Bola Tinubu. That is if we are going by the disputed results that INEC is bandying about as the results of the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. And you know that this has generated a lot of, disquiet in the country. A situation where you are having people are not celebrating. Normally when an election, a transition election like this is held, if truly it is the people that elected the new president, there would have been a lot of jubilation, excitement, with a new hope, imagine, among the people. But in Nigeria, what you have is the peace of the graveyard. Nobody's celebrating, nobody's joyful, nobody's excited. Even as the government is preparing for the handover to the new administration, that is for the inauguration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you can see the enormous effort they are making to threaten Nigerians that nobody should protest, nobody should demonstrate, nobody should come out to oppose. They have even got to the extent and said that even the court cannot stop the inauguration. So the court in Nigeria has no powers to stop it. That's what they said. The secretary to the federal government, Boss Mustafa, said so, that no court in Nigeria. That statement is a statement that shows that even if the court is to rule against the inauguration based on Nigeria's laws, they will not obey it. Now, these are clear signs that all is not well with Nigeria. All is not well with the electoral process. And therefore, that was why there was a lot of excitement in Nigeria, at least by those who cares about the intervention of international community. When Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, a few days ago, said that they have imposed visa ban for all Nigerian leaders who participated in the manipulation of the election. They talk about the fact that there were many Nigerian leaders who supported violence that was meted out against Nigerians, who manipulated the electoral process, who used security agents, who were able to manipulate results. Everything. Like, for example, the presidential election and the House of Representatives election and the senatorial election took place the same day. And Beavers was a machine that was provided to transmit the result from various polling units, which we have about over 176,000 polling units in Nigeria, to transmit these results from the polling units to the INEC server. On the day of the election, after the votes were cast and tabulated, Beavers was only able to transmit senatorial and House of Representative election to the INEC IRIF or their website, INEC IRIF, okay, or INEC server, if you like. They were able to transmit the senatorial and House of Reps, but they couldn't transmit the presidential election, the most important of all the elections in the country on that particular day. And it has now emerged that they deliberately did it because they want to stop alleged cyber attack against INEC server. But even the host of INEC server, Amazon Web Services, said there was never any threat of attack against INEC server. It therefore means that Nigerian government officials deliberately manipulated the election that day by not allowing that result to be transmitted, which would have been much more easier to now know who emerged as duly elected president of Nigeria in a free and fair contest. But that was not what happened. And as I talk to you now, the result of the presidential election of Nigeria that was held since February 25, 2023, are yet to be totally uploaded into the INEC IRF. INEC itself has gone to courts to challenge that the proceedings going on in the court should not be televised live so that Nigerians will not know how they came about their result, which they used in declaring Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect. All these are signals that all is not well with the electoral process that produced Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Okay? Now, when Blinken said that issued a statement that those who participated in this electoral malpractice, both from INEC, those in government officials, those in private individual, everything, that they are going to be imposed visa ban. Nigerians was excited that United States is acting as it should, as the beacon of democracy in the world, as the leader of the free world. That was what it was all about. That was the interpretation that Nigeria and the rest of the world gave it. But the Nigerians were therefore shocked when they heard from the same United States, the same Anthony Blinken, that it called Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu and discussed with Aswad Bola Ahmed for 20 minutes. In other words, it was an indication that, and from what they said there, that United States was ready to work with Tinubu. That was a mixed message that America set out there. America cannot pretend to be the leader of the free world and begin to act the way it did. It cannot. America cannot speak from both sides of the mouth. It cannot begin to act like China, like Russia, like many of the despotic regimes around the world that don't give a damn about democracy. That's why even Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, was disappointed by what Americans did. And he was asking that there was no clarity in the position of Anthony Blinken. And Peter Obi is right. America have to show clarity. America have to stand on this. America cannot sit on the fence. America can't sit on the fence. If you truly believe that it's a bastion of democracy, is the leader of the free world, it cannot stand on the fence. It cannot begin to pretend as if you don't know what happened in Nigeria. And like Peter Obi rightly pointed out, Anthony Blinken and the United States ought to have allowed the courts to sort out the final outcome to determine who is the next president of Nigeria. Of course, even myself and so many other Nigerians are skeptical about the capacity of Nigerian courts to deliver justice without fear or favor. But at least they should be given the opportunity to redeem themselves. Because even as many Nigerians are saying they don't trust the judiciary in Nigeria, that the judiciary in Nigeria has become like every other institution in Nigeria, have been compromised and that is for the highest bidder. But at least United States have to reserve the right or to have allowed the court to decide the outcome of the election. That was what Peter Obi is talking about. That there is no clarity, because this lack of clarity is stemmed basically from, first of all, you condemn the election, that the election was not free and fair, and you are punishing those who participated in it by placing them on visa ban, almost treating them like a security risk, and then turn around and say you want to do business with the beneficiary of the flawed system, flawed electoral process that you are condemning. Come on. America cannot eat its cake and have it. It has to take a stand. It's either for democracy or it's for not, and it's not for democracy. It cannot stand on the fence. It cannot sit on the fence. So, and Peter Obi is not alone in condemnation of what the Tony Blinken did. Even the presidential candidate of the PDP, Ahmed, He condemned it also in very strong terms because what America did was unbecoming of an American government. America is now turning itself into a laughing stock around the world in the sense that it could no longer be trusted to stand for democracy. It could no longer be trusted to say the truth. It cannot even speak truth to power. For whatever reason, America has lost its voice in condemning an electoral process that is riddled with corruption. Because what happened in Nigeria in February 25 was political corruption. And Nigeria is known all over the world as a very corrupt country. A former British Prime Minister described Nigeria as a fantastically corrupt country. Yet, Nigeria is doing everything possible. Nigerians are doing everything possible to see a leadership that will help them get rid of corruption, that have made them a laughing stock among Community of Nations, that made Nigeria the laughing stock in Africa, a country with its enormous responsibility, its enormous wealth, yet is the poverty capital of the world. A country with oil, large deposit of oil, one of the world's largest deposit of gas, yet is net importer of gas, net importer of petroleum, all because of corruption. 2023 was an opportunity for Nigerians to change this system and bring in a new regime. And they did it. Nigerians voted for a new government. Instead of friends of Nigeria to gather around, friends of Nigeria, and especially those who are beacons of democracy, like the United States, to rally around Nigeria, to oppose the haste of election that was held. America is standing on the face and saying it's ready to go ahead with, it's ready to cooperate with the beneficiary of this manipulation, this haste. This could not have happened if this were when America was America. When America has voice that resonates and is respected all over the world. America can still redeem itself by insisting that the courts in Nigeria, where they are trying or adjudicating the proceedings of the petition from the election, must be televised live. Already, they are showing the sign that Nigeria is descending into dictatorship of unprecedented proportion without regard for rule of law. In the last outing in the court, people were made to drop, we are not allowed to have their phone in the courts. This is a sign that they are not ready even to transmit the results. And America is ready to tolerate this. Yet, it will be flying all over the world. Tony Blinken will be flying all over the world, claiming that America is the bastion of democracy. America is the leader of the free world. No. America is no different from China. America is no different from Russia. Because when America is the leader of the free world, when America is the bastion of democracy, the world used to listen. When America sneezes, the world catches cold. What is happening now is America trying to condone things that it will not condone in its own country. There are a lot of weighty allegations against the Nigeria's president-elect some of the things, allegations against him are so weighty that even America cannot allow, could not have tolerated it. Yet, America was not patient enough to listen to the final arbiter in this matter, Nigerian courts, with all of its shortcomings, should have been allowed to determine the next president of Nigeria, as Peter Obi rightly pointed out, and as Atiku rightly pointed out. America should not sit back and watch without care about the future of Africa's largest democracy. Nigeria is Africa's largest democracy. And Nigeria need to be protected. Nigeria's democracy need to be protected. But the kind of statements coming out of Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State, does not show that America understands its role in the world. It makes me to wonder whether this could have happened in a different administration that really understands the essence of America and its role in promotion of democracy around the world. Even the idea of visa ban, the visa ban was announced without telling Nigerians who are those leaders that were involved, who are those leaders that were banned. The whole thing was full of ambiguity, even though Nigerians were at least excited to some extent that at least to remind the electoral people, the government officials, that at least the world was watching. The world watched. The world saw what happened. America could have gone further to name names, to give bite to each declaration or each ban on such characters from entering the United States. But whatever gains that came out of that ban was overtaken by that 20 minutes call by Anthony Blinken to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which showed that America cannot be trusted to promote democracy in Africa. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. God bless you and yours.